Hello and welcome everyone by the first episode, Live Talk when painting Warhammer. I'm Borjo the Besieger, I'm your surviving expert. I'm a long-term cancer survivor. I'm also proefkonijn of the Erasmus Medical Center. Proefkonijn stands for testing rabbit. It's a strange name, but it's not so bad as that it sounds. It's just you give some blood and you give some tests and everything, and they can do research with it for the next generation. So it's nice to be part of. Anyway, that makes me happy, so that's always good, to be happy. That also keeps you healthy a little bit better. So in my current recovery, I started to paint my Warhammer again, because it was still unpainted most part, and it was my hobby always. I wake up most of the time around 4 or 5, and then I take my chemo. I don't know how it drops. So anyway, I decided, okay, I need to have something to do. I was renovating the house, and then I saw my unpainted Warhammer again, my hobby. So I thought, okay, this time I'm going to paint it. While I was painting, I noticed I was enjoying the video, so I started recording it naturally. And now I was recording, and all the time I was thinking why I am not throwing out the story about cancer and everything. Lots of people always ask me those stories. They are searching for answers, or they are searching for maybe some motivation or whatever. Years ago I was thinking to write a book, or to maybe make with animation some YouTube to give this information to everybody. Somehow it didn't fit me, so it never happened. And now I was recording anyway, and somehow all the time this feeling came back from, is this not the way that I maybe still need to share the information? And I can also keep a little bit my own privacy, because on the end, to talk about cancer is not so huge problem. But this story is all kind of private, and that makes it a little bit harder for me. But what's more important, that people can find some answers maybe, or find some understanding, some motivation. On the end, if it only helps one person, it's all worth it. Maybe it was the sign of Sigmar. We let that in the middle, but that pushed me a little bit to do this. So I think I will go for it. Maybe for some people a strange combination, Warhammer and cancer, but for me it was all both for a long part of my life. It's also where my name comes from, Borjo the Besieger. When I was 23 and I got my first time cancer, I started playing World of Warcraft. Maybe you guys know it. I needed a name, and I was reading the book Van Dogs of War from Warhammer, and there was the name Borjo the Besieger. Since then it's my gaming name, and I always use that name. Also how I roll into Warhammer. My father died when I was 11 with a car accident. I became a little bit like a street child after that. You think a tough child, but on the end maybe just a child who was lost. Anyway, things went bad also on school. Doesn't matter, I left school when I was 15. I don't recommend those things, better always finish your school. Now I needed to go back to school, and I was already working, and later in life it makes it a little bit more difficult. But when there is a will, there is a way. I always say, so you can just go for it, always important. Now then I was 15, I came with my uncle, and he was playing Warhammer, so I started playing Warhammer also, and everything is in English. So Warhammer helped me to learn English. That's the reason I can now talk, read and write English, maybe not always correctly, but it gives me the base. This shows right away the essence of having a hobby, and that's why I always find that it is important for everybody to have a hobby. Whatever it is, it always helps you to give pleasure, it helps you to develop, it keeps you more sharp. So it really helps on the end also for your health. So I think it's really important. In my case, I always needed to laugh about my wife because Warhammer somehow is always linked to being a nerd. And then she met me, and then she thought, oh, here you have a tough street guy or whatever. And then she came in my house and she saw my Warhammer and she said, you are an undercover nerd. And always when I think about that still, I really need to laugh. Anyway, when I was 17, sport came in my life that pulled me back on track. But about these things I will talk on other episodes. This is the first episode. I will just explain what was a little bit my life with and what cancer and treatments I got or follow. And then in the next episode I will make a series of episodes. And in that episodes I will go deep in the moments. So the every moment, the feelings with it, my experience with it, and everything like that. But it is really the experience and the feelings from a patient. I'm not a researcher, I'm not a doctor, I'm none of those things. So, and I think if you have a heavy disease or whatever, the most important thing you need to have is the good doctor or the good specialist, how you want to call it. I always think in tools. You need to collect as many tools as you can get, but the most important tool is the specialist. And internet or YouTube is not a doctor or a specialist. It's good to maybe to understand things or to get good information for yourself or maybe motivation. But for really good treatments and for your best way, for your own, you always need a specialist. So always inform your specialist. The thing I also always say is, with cancer, you can still fight, so you need to have your specialist and everything, your tools. So you want to have a tool set you want to fight. You don't have to be afraid for it. Just fight. If you are in a car and you have a heavy accident, you're dead right away. You don't have a chance anymore. So, then better you can have cancer. Because there are specialists, there are tools. Grab them and fight, and grab your chance. Don't give up and never surrender. As I mentioned before, my first experience with cancer was when I was 23. It was a birthmark on my back. They cut it away and it were bad cells, melanoma or something, whatever. It was no good. It was metastasized, also under the oxals on both sides. So I need to go back for a bigger surgery, and I got my first big surgery from that. Also, the oncoloog told me at that time after the surgery I can never sport work again, and probably I will not make 24. I told him he's an idiot, and I was mad, and I walked away. And as you can see, I'm still walking, so perfect for that. Anyway, it was away for a long time. And I get control for 5 years. Everything went okay. You go on with your life. You know it. I get overweight. After the overweight, and I was 38, I feel something in my neck, and again there was a tumor in my neck, and it started growing. So you go for the scans, and then I also had 2 tumors on the lungs. After a good conversation at home with the wife, we decided to take a dog. So you were forced to keep moving because the dog needs to get out, and the engine needs to keep rolling. I think it's important to keep the engine rolling. I will also talk about that in the later episodes when I go deeper in all of this. But I must say the dog was enormous support and really helped, if you ask me. Anyway, from there I was getting the immunotherapy. The two tumors on the lungs, they disappeared, so that went good. But the tumor in the neck, they stayed growing and growing. So that was not really pleasant. Also started hurting more. Undoable. On the end, I was thinking taking like 22 painkillers a day, and still not sleeping from the pain, and only watching the ceiling, maybe only in bed. I was able to sleep for 1 hour if the water was really hot. And the tumors in my lungs, they disappeared from the immunotherapy, I think, or whatever. They were away. There was also only still a little bit sign of scar tissue. Anyway, I had a tumor extra in the brain now, and I had a tumor extra on the side kidney. So maybe 2 went away, but I had 2 new ones. So for the brain one, we right away needed to take action. So we need to stop the immunotherapy for some time to get the cyberknife radiation in the brain. I really love that machine. I will really come back about that one in another episode because, yeah, it's an amazing machine. Anyway, that worked out fine. After that, we decided to stop also the immunotherapy because, it was not really working, and we wanted to try out other medications. So we went over to braff-remmers. And when I started the braff-remmers, the side effects were really horrible. And anyway, I needed to take them, and I was taking them and still getting more desperate. So after trying out lots of things, I also asked for radiation in the neck. And then first it was not really an option because I was using already the braff-remmers. They are like pills. I call them braff-remmers or chemo light, I call them, but it is machinist and tafnilar or something. I always pronounce it wrongly, but who cares on the end? So I use those pills, and you cannot combine 2 treatments, or that's not so good because it's kind of heavy. But after lots of asking, they agreed, and then I get also the radiation in the neck. So I was happy with that also. And I start trying out cannabis, and I noticed very fast with the cannabis that I finally had 1 night of sleep. Also, it helped me with eating and keeping the side effects better under control. So I will also explain about the cannabis part in the story in another episode about that. And I also used plants out of the jungle, out of South America. My wife brought. It's called the anamu plant. So I was also using that and lots of other things. And of course, I was moving again, and I start doing sports with it, adjust my feeding and everything. So I think it's nice or good to know for people what my experience is about that, and it is really the experience out of me. I will say it again, out of a patient, and it's not that you need to do things what I say. I am only providing the information and the knowledge how I experience things. Always talk things over with your specialist. It's really important. And when you are desperate, you can also maybe do crazy things. So think things over, but it's always good to have more tools or some knowledge and take your advantage. And also, if you try something out, be fair. If you notice it doesn't work or it works against you, don't do it. But it is also not fair that there is on lots of topics or things there is like a taboo. Because it can also help lots of people, and because there is maybe a taboo or something, you cannot talk about it. I think that's also not correct, and lots of people have also a wrong way of seeing things or interpretation from it, and maybe this can open your mind a little bit. This is why I really think in tools. I'm the person who needs to survive and live with it 24 hours a day, and you're the only one. And of course, the people that love you, they struggle maybe the most. I think even more than you with it in general. But I think it's good to think in tools. Then if you want to paint a miniature in this case, you need also to have tools. So you are the painter, but you need tools. So you need to have a brush. In this case, your brush, or in my case, is the oncology. It's my number one tool. But with only a brush, you cannot paint the model. So you also need to have paint, and you need to have more things. So then for me, my number one tool is the specialist. Maybe number two tool, another specialist for feeding and things like that. Then I have the tool. I see the dog as a tool. The medications are tools. Everything are tools. Sports are tools. So how more tools you have, how better you can have an end result. So that's also the main reason why I decided to post this online. Maybe not really on the best way when painting Warhammer, but it's more about providing as lots of information I know out of the patient feeling, and about tools, and maybe some of those tools can help you, or it can give you another view or some hope or whatever, because you never give up before you fight, no? Or maybe it can help you in your mindset. All good. Also, if you have questions or things, just put it in the comments. If I can just answer it, I will always answer it. If it is more complicated for me to answer, I will try to put the effort in to make a video for you with the answer out of my perspective, of course, and not with something you need to do. I will never tell you what to do or what you need to do. I will only explain how I see it out of my perspective, and that will be all. And in the next episodes, I will dive deep into the tools, how I use them, what I used, also all the treatments, what were the feelings, etc., etc., etc. Starting by the beginning, all the way up to where I am now, tumor-free, but still taking the chemo light together with the cannabis. But we will all talk about that later. For now, thank you for listening. I hope this information can help you a little bit, and I wish you all the best and stronger through battle.